From FXB, Fox TV, the News 13 Network presents Fox News at 10.
Are you putting your hands on me?
Yes, I'm putting my hands
In front
on
of a
you.
witness?
A simple public request gets confrontational between the Atlantic Beach town manager and a citizen. Good evening, everyone. I'm Amy Vitrano in for Wendy Redman. Thanks so much for being with us. We start tonight's Hot Fox 5 off with an argument caught on tape. One man says he just was exercising his First Amendment right when Atlantic Beach town manager Benny Webb went too far. But Webb says there's more to the story.
Exciting. New opportunity for me as well as
The new interim Horry County Police Chief's first day on the job. She sits down to tell us what her biggest hurdle will be in her new position.
This was unusual for Mr. Sponseller not to report back to his family.
The president of the South Carolina Hospitality Association is missing what police have done so far in the search. How new drivers get their license is changing. What you need to know before going to the DMV for the first time. And the winner of the Myrtle Beach Marathon set a new race record. How fast he ran the 26.2 miles and why this man winning was such a surprise to everyone. And that's tonight's Hot Fox 5. Atlantic Beach's town manager goes off on a man in town hall, and it's all recorded on tape. Tonight, both men talked to Drew Smith. He's at Atlantic Beach Town Hall right now and has the latest in tonight's top story. Drew?
Good evening. Paul Curry is not a stranger to the folks here at Atlantic Beach Town Hall. He actually stops by frequently asking for public records. But on January 31st, when he came in to ask for a document, he was denied that request, and that's when town manager Benny Webb went off on him.
One of these days, I'm going to knock the living out of you.
Well, you know, that's a threat of assault.
No, it ain't a threat, it's a promise.
We spoke with Mr. Webb today, and he says there's a whole lot more to this story. Webb says Curry's behavior at Town Hall amounts to stalking and harassment. He pointed out numerous arrest records, including prison time for Curry serving for harassment in Florida. A judge later overturned that sentence, but Webb says it still shows Curry's history of behavior.
If he was in any other county except Horry County, he would not be able to behave like this. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to allow him to intimidate me, stalk, or harass me, because every person has a right to protect themselves. And I will protect myself to the letter of the law when it comes to Paul Curry.
We asked Atlantic Beach Chief of Police for the incident report. He says it wasn't available, but he says there will be no charges in this case because there wasn't enough evidence. He did present it to a judge. Benny Webb also saying the timing of this is curious because Paul Curry actually has a court date tomorrow night dealing with a separate case. In Atlantic Beach, I'm Drew Smith for Fox News at 10.
Thank you, Drew. Atlantic Beach also discusses the future of Memorial Day Bike Fest. The town council did not end up meeting today for the second time in a row. Mayor Retha Pierce and Jake Evans did not show up. Mayor Pro Tem Carolyn Cole moved the session into a financial committee meeting and got a better idea of how much money the town has made or lost in previous Bike Fest. She thinks it's time for Atlantic Beach to focus on a year-round economy, but that decision is up to the entire council.
We hope that the council will understand as a body that this is extremely important. The town's finances, the Bike Fest discussion, all of this is extremely important, and this is what leadership is. You lead even in difficult times.
Cole hopes all the council can come together at its next meeting to make a decision on Bike Fest. She asked the town manager to put together a minimal list of expenses, so as she says, the town can transition away from running Bike Fest. Horry County has a new police chief, at least for now. Sandra Rhodes begins her today as interim chief, and as Mason Snyder shows us, one of her main goals is to clean up the public's perception of the department.
In the final year under Chief Johnny Morgan, the Horry County Police Department came under public scrutiny. SLED investigated and later cleared allegations of police corruption. Morgan says he didn't want to retire until the investigation was over. Now the department's under new leadership.
exciting. New opportunity for me as well as for the department, I do believe.
Interim Chief Rhodes has 19 years of law enforcement experience under her belt, most of which was in Horry County, where she's from.
I have spent almost my entire career here, I have had an opportunity to know the officers and to know the community and to know the citizens, and I think that'll serve me well.
Rhodes feels Horry County does a good job cutting down on crime. She thinks the public's view of the department is an area that needs improvement.
I have to be concerned about the community perception of the police department. It's important to me that the community has an accurate perception.
And she says that requires more community involvement. In her role, Rhodes also has the power to hire and fire.
Today is my first day, Mason, but I do have that ability to make the personnel changes, and we'll look at the internal structure of the police department, and if I find that changes need to be made, then we will do so.
Now, one other thing that I asked Chief Rhodes about was her perception of how Johnny Morgan did while he was chief of Horry County Police. Chief Rhodes says that she's always considered Morgan a mentor. She says she hopes to lead based off of his example. Reporting tonight in Conway, Mason Snyder, Fox News at 10.
Interim Chief Rhodes told Mason today she didn't know Johnny Morgan was going to retire. A Lake City man is out of jail after authorities arrested and charged him with criminal conspiracy. Investigators with Florence County Sheriff's Office says 32-year-old Benjamin Matthews agreed to with co-defendants to possesses and disposition of a stolen John Deere lawnmower back in November of last year. He's out of jail tonight on a personal recognizance bond. The investigation continues into a murder-suicide that happened at a home on Highway 79 outside Bennettsville. Coroner Tim Brown identifies the victims as 61-year-old Bill Griffin and 43-year-old Rebecca Broadwater. Brown said Griffin shot and killed Broadwater Saturday before turning the gun on himself. No word on a motive. Well, there are no new leads tonight in the disappearance of a man who's well known at the State House and across South Carolina. Tom Sponseller has been the president and CEO of the South Carolina Hospitality Association for more than 22 years. He was last seen at his office just a block away from the State House Saturday at noon. His wife reported him missing a few hours later when he never came home. Police found his car in the parking garage where it was always parked when he's at work, and there are no signs of foul play.
We're not taking chances. We're not willing to say, let's wait 48 hours, let's wait 72 hours. And we generally don't.
His family and police have gotten no answer on his cell phone. Investigators work with his phone company to try and pinpoint where it is. They're also looking to surveillance cameras to see if they may have shown him leaving work. South Carolina now changes what's taught in its classrooms to match 48 other states, but some say that means your child might learn less. Education advocates, including the member of State's Education Board, says adopting the Common Core standards will not help South Carolina's children because it lowers the bar. Opponents say the studies showed the change did not improve learning in other states and actually put students behind in some subjects. This week, lawmakers will debate a bill to ban the state from using Common Core standards to set students' pace. A stricter driving test challenges new drivers before they receive their licenses. The Department of Motor Vehicles will soon require drivers to drive more and in more realistic traffic situations. Also, the length of the driver's test has been made longer, so what used to take about 15 minutes can now take up to half an hour. One driving instructor expects more people to fail the new test.
I think it's a lot better because, again, you're actually having to show the ability that you can operate a motor vehicle in traffic. Where before there's very little traffic involved in your testing procedures, now you're actually coming in towards town, merging in a lot more and turning a lot more traffic and having to drive in a lot more traffic.
There will be no changes to the written test. A hearing is set for tomorrow in the case of the proposed Marlboro County megadump. A hearing before Judge Michael Nettles will determine whether or not DHEC has the authority to force the residents in and around Marlboro County to accept the megadump in their community. The group Citizens for Marlboro County and the Marlboro County Council have worked together over the past several years to try to block the proposed 900-acre dump. The location of the site would be between highways 38 and 177 in Marlboro County. The hearing will take place at 10 a.m. on Tuesday at the Marlboro County Courthouse. It's a sign that the tourism season is just around the corner. 2 Myrtle Beach tourist attractions held a job fair today. Officials with NASCAR Speed Park and the Pavilion Nostalgia Park interviewed hundreds of people at the at the speed park. They look to fill 100 open seasonal positions. The winner of the weekend's Myrtle Beach Marathon is a new record holder. Stuart Morgan finished the race in just 2 hours, 26 minutes, and 25 seconds. What makes the win even more improbable is that it's just Morgan's second marathon ever. He says he's been a runner most of his life, but usually does shorter distances like 10Ks. We spoke with him right after he crossed the finish line.
But I also wanted to run under 2:25, and I was on pace until the last 2 miles, and then I sort of hit the wall a little bit. So, but 2 miles of the wall was okay. So I lost a little bit of time there, but overall, I feel good.
Only a minute away from his goal. While nearly 8,000 people participated in the race events over the weekend, that included the Family Fun Run and the half and full marathons and yesterday's bike race in Conway. A former Francis Marion University professor and her daughter teamed up to publish a book. It chronicles 10 years of letters written between two cousins following World War II. Today, Emily and Lorraine de Montalenzo were available for a book signing at FMU's library. They wrote, "Dearest Arlette, Every Day in Life, Post-War America and France, 1945 to 1955, as recorded in letters of two reunited families." It examines the changes in culture, politics, and technology following World War II.
Well, we really had a good time writing it, and we're just so pleased that it seems to touch a chord in a lot of readers.
The book is available for purchase at the Francis Marion Bookstore and on Amazon.com. And in Hartsville today, youngsters from the First Presbyterian Church Kindergarten put on patriotic outfits and marched into a Star-Spangled Banner parade. The children dressed as George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, or Betty Ross to do as part of their President's Day celebration. They recited the Pledge of Allegiance and sang "You're a Grand Old Flag" for those in attendance. How would you like to win a lot of money just by doing what you normally do? Well, we'll tell you how Apple plans to give away thousands. That's later on Fox, but first Frank's gonna hopefully give us a warmer Foxcast.
Yeah, after tomorrow morning. It's chilly outside tonight, but we do have a warm up on the way, and I'll let you know how warm it's going to get coming up.